Hello, this is Nitin Dahad with the Times. I'm speaking to Dorian Haci, who's CEO and co-founder of a company called MintNeuro. Hello, Dorian, how are you?
Hello, hi Nitin. It's a pleasure to speak with you today and to be here at the Microelectronics UK conference.
Yes, very much so. We keep bumping into each other at events, and I've seen you at TechWorks, I've seen you at awards, Silicon Catalyst. So you've got quite a journey to getting to where you are. Your company, just tell us what it does. I think 15 years in the making in terms of the research that you've been doing at Imperial College, but also like it's been spun out and incorporated, and you're working on specific products for implantable devices. Is that right?
Yes, exactly. We are a spin-out of Imperial College London, as you mentioned. We've been developing this technology for over a decade now, and about 3 years ago we spun out from Imperial and to translate really the research that we have done over the past decade. What we're developing is semiconductor technologies specifically for implantable medical devices that are targeting treatment and management of neurological conditions such as epilepsy, Parkinson's, and dementia.
Okay. Now, when you explained this to me, first of all, I thought, yeah, so what? It's another Neuralink or anything else. But actually, when you explain it to me with props, it's much better. Yeah. So this is what the current state of affairs. Tell us what this does and where you've got to.
So this is the standard of care for today's technology. And this is an implantable device that is implanted in the chest, has long wires that go into the brain. There's a hole then in the brain that has electrodes that go deep in the brain. And this is used for treatment, for example, of Parkinson's disease, essential tremor, or even epilepsy. However, these devices, as you might imagine, are quite invasive and
quite a major surgical procedure as well.
Exactly. Very risky as well. However, this is what's available today in the market, and not even every patient that suffers from that condition can access to this. So our realization was that the technologies of today are outdated. They're based on electronics from over a decade ago, and that technology that was not designed for the brain and nervous system. That's where we come in. So we're building the foundational hardware layer that is creating the building blocks for medical device companies to create the future of implantable devices and to target both neurological conditions as well as mental health conditions.
Now, again, I think what's quite interesting is that's also what is currently available. Is that right?
Yeah. So these are some of the devices of today. In research and development, it's not yet on the market.
Okay.
It's on clinical trials for different type of conditions, and the future devices really that we're looking to enable is in this size, so millimeter scale implants, and we're working with medical device companies and research institutes to enable those type of implantable devices.
Now, I think the key to what you're doing is the chip that provides the sensing and the stimulation, but in various form factors. Just show us.
So this is the type of devices that we have.
There's a number of devices on there.
Yes, and so because what we are really aiming at is creating those, as I said, building blocks, like Lego blocks. So building those function-specific chips that can target a specific function such as sensing, stimulation, processing, power management, wireless communication, and so on, and combine these functions into application-specific systems that can target the needs of implantable devices of today. And so at the moment we have designed a sensor and a stimulator. They are on silicon, so they've been manufactured, and they are now being tested to verify and being used by our partners.
So right at the top corner there's a 2mm by 2mm chip, and that's providing the sensing right now. It's got 16 channels, is that right?
Exactly. So the sensing means having amplification, so front-end amplification of the neurosignals, and then conversion from analog to digital signals so that they can be used and processed and controlled through a processing unit.
And that would be implanted into a device that would be something like this?
Exactly.
And that would be sort of minimal invasive implantation, is that right?
Exactly. So these type of devices, today, as I mentioned, like this is the size. And the size of this is because they're printed circuit boards, so PCBs and large batteries inside. And so in order to enable the next generation, we need to integrate multiple circuits in the same chip. So that chip is actually replacing a lot of off-the-shelf components of these type of devices. That allows for this type of implants. And these implants can go on the brain or in the skull, and then can both sense, so record neural activity, and stimulate the nervous system to create treatments such as I mentioned, epilepsy and Parkinson's. Also, in this case, for example, we're working with a medical device company in the US that is targeting the treatment of severe depression, so also mental health conditions.
Okay, yeah, and talking of medical device, you've got several projects that you've got which are providing some of the funding that you've got going. 3 projects, I think, that are... One is in the US?
Yes.
So just give me a rundown.
So at the moment we have 5 ongoing collaborative projects. 3 are funded by ARIA, this new advanced research and invention agency in the UK. One of them is led by a medical device company in the US called Motif Neurotech that are targeting severe depression. And another one is the other 2 are in the UK, led by UK institutions. We're working with medical device companies as well as research institutes at Imperial, Oxford, Newcastle, and so on. And a 4th project that has been going for about a year now is with Amber Therapeutics, a medical device company in the UK that is targeting different type of neurological conditions, but their first indication is for mixed urinary incontinence.
Okay.
So something that is not primarily neurological, but that uses the nervous system to target other treatments.
And these are, so again, you're providing them as chips that people can use, the medical device manufacturers that can use to produce those implantable devices, or you're providing a system in package as well. So you've got the sensing and the stimulation, but you've got the SIP, which is basically doing that processing as well with the FPGA.
And that's really the differentiation of what we are enabling, because we're developing this library of function-specific chips that each has a function. However, the differentiation is being able to create a system of multiple functions to target different type of conditions. And to do that, you need technologies that is advanced. You need semiconductor technologies that are using, for example, heterogeneous integration to create a system in package solution that combines multiple of these chips together with processing units, such as you mentioned, FPGA, or even a microcontroller, or something that could be an ASIC specifically designed for processing and control of these neural signals. And that really enables the next generation of therapies that need to be closed loop. So far, therapies in neurology have been about stimulating open loop the nervous system to create a treatment. But you need that closed loop to sense the neural activity in real time to inform the stimulation.
Now, as a business, you've raised, I think, about £5 million in total in sort of grants and equity.
Yes.
And that's about $7.5 million, $7 million. So, what's next for you? What are you up to? What do you want to do? I mean, I guess your first products are not going to be till the first half of 2027.
Yeah, so that's really what we're targeting. We're still early stage company, R&D heavy, so we're still developing these foundational blocks that will allow us to enable multiple of these treatments. And we aim in about a year and a half to be in the market, to launch our first products that will be based on the sensing and stimulation chips, as well as a combination of sensing, stimulation, and processing to allow for the bidirectional and closed loop capabilities that will enable devices to create new therapies. And we are lucky to have received funding, both non-dilutive funding from our funders such as ARIA, Innovate UK, the NIHR, and so on. And together with investment from last year, the pre-seed investment that we received, but we will need then more capital to really get to launching our products in about a year's time. Yeah,
okay. And in terms of what's your real sort of mission? What do you want to do with all of this? Because your background is very much research. Do you think you've got what it takes to then take this to the next step?
Yeah, so I started as a researcher in academia, and I always was fascinated about neurotechnology, electronics, and I felt the technology was really advanced. And what we realized really that this was the standard of care of today, right? And so that realization that what's in the market is not what's in the research realm really made us think, how can we create impact with our technologies to bring it to patients and individuals that really need this? And so that's really our mission, is to bring that technology, that semiconductor advanced technology, to implantable devices that can create change for the millions and now billions of people that suffer from these conditions.
And what's our biggest challenge in getting to where you want to get?
Well, there's multiple challenges, but I think one key aspect is scalability, is getting to a point in which these devices are not just being used by a few thousand people, but they're used by hundreds of thousands, millions, and tens of millions of people in the world that can benefit from this technology. So scaling from where it is today to in the future where a lot of people that need this can access it.
So a philosophical question then, is that's probably not going to be the pharmaceutical companies, it may be new companies, like Tesla broke the mold for automotive. Do you see medical devices also having a mold broken for for this kind of device?
Exactly. I think I'm biased because I'm coming from the semiconductor background, electronics, but I believe that semiconductors can really enable the next wave of technology. As semiconductors did it for the PC industry, for smartphones, and for AI, I think semiconductors and chip companies can really enable the next wave of technologies, and the next wave in this case of treatments of the brain and the nervous system. So yeah, I'm very hopeful, and I strongly believe that this industry can really change the kind of like the treatments and life of many people.
Well, Dorian, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.